Hey y'all, it's me, Miss Faulkner. I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend, or I don't know, some of us might be getting to this video later in the week, but I hope you had a great day. And what I want you to do is I want you to take a minute. I'm going to use my fancy dancy laser. Alrighty, what is volume? What in the world is volume? Well, volume is the space inside the object. So it's the space inside. That's an ugly little E. It's the space inside. So what we're going to do is we're going to find out how to find the volume for a prism. And this, we know, is a rectangular prism. So the formula, if you look on your little fancy dancy sheet, the formula is volume equals length times width times height. Now this is our length, this is our width, and this is our height. Now we're going to go over here, I'm going to use a little green arrow, and we're going to talk about a cylinder, how to find the volume for a cylinder. And the formula for that is volume equals pi times r squared, which is our radius, times our height. Now this is our height, and this is our radius. Now down here it says, what are the units? What are the units? The units are always going to be cubic. They are cubic for both. And what that means is if we're working with meters, it would be meters cubed. And again, say we're working with yards, it would be yards cubed. That's just an example. Okay, to find the volume of the rectangular prism, we of course have to do our fancy dancy little steps. Step number 1 is to label the length, the width, and the height. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And we're going to label this as length, the 3 inches as my width, and my 4 inches as my height. Now if you notice, I have 5 1/4. Well, we know that is challenging, so we are going to change it to a decimal, 5.25. So step number 1, check-a-rooski. Number 2, write the formula. Volume equals length times width times height. Ooh, I made a little mark over there. Check-a-rooski. Step number 3, we're going to fill in the numbers. Volume equals, my length is 5.25, my width is 3, and my height is 4. Now when I multiply all those out, I get 63 inches, and what is it? I have to put cubed. Ta-da! You're becoming volume experts. Alrighty, now this one's a little more challenging. It says find the width if the prism holds 400 centimeters cubed. Okay, when we're talking about how much it holds, we are talking about the volume. So it gives us the volume. So we're going to have to figure out what's going on. So let's first go ahead and let's label length. Now my width is what I'm looking for, and this is my height. So I'm going to go ahead, first thing I'm going to go ahead and write volume equals length times width times height. Now let's fill in what we know. It gives us our volume. So where I see this 400 centimeters cubed, I'm going to put that here. Okay, it gives us that, so put that there. So I'm going to write 400 equals my length, which is 15, times my width, which I don't know, times my height, which is 14.5. Do I have a pen? Yeah, there. 14.5. Now here's the deal. Because of the property called the commutative property of multiplication, you can multiply all of this in any order. So I'm going to go ahead and rewrite it like this. I'm going to write 400 equals 15 times 14.5 times my W. That just looks a little easier to me. So I'm going to say 400 equals, when I do 15 times 14.5, I get 217.5, and when I multiply a number by a variable, I can just stick that little thing right there. Okay, now we know what to do. We're going to divide both sides by 217.5 because I'm trying to get my variable by itself. And we know whatever we do to one side, we do to the other. And when we do that, we get 1.8 centimeters equals W. Now I want to point out it's just centimeters. It's not centimeters cubed because we're talking about the length. We're talking about the width. And so when we're talking about the length, the width, or the height, we simply use centimeters. Ta-da! Okay, now we're working with the cylinder. So we're going to follow our little step-a-riskies. Number 1, label the height and the radius. 7 would be my height, and 4 would be my radius. Little check-a-risky. Number 2, write the formula. Well, we talked about it earlier. We said volume equals pi r squared times h. My handwriting's so ugly with this thing. Check-a-risky. Number 3, fill in the numbers. Volume equals pi. Well, my radius I know is 4 squared times my height, which is 7. So I'm going to ask that you write this step out because when grading the test on surface area, I think this was the most common mistake of not doing order of operations correctly. So we're going to say volume equals pi times 16 times 7. And when I do that, I get the volume equals 351.9 inches what? Inches cubed. Y'all are superstars. That's what you are. Superstar. Okay, our last example. It says find the volume of the cylinder with a diameter of 9 and a height of 11. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to label. Okay, my little can, it's on its side. So, if you look right here, this is where our circle is. So I know that's where our diameter is going to be. So my diameter equals 9. Well, is that what I need? No, I need my radius. So I'm going to divide that by 2, and I get my radius equals 4.5 centimeters. And this, even though it's lying down, that is my height. So my height equals 11 centimeters. Okay, so I can go ahead and I'm going to write my formula. Volume equals pi r squared times h. Trying to find my volume. Pi, my r, is 4.5 squared times my height, which is 11. Again, I want you guys to write this out because that's where we're making our biggest mistake. Volume equals pi, 4.5 squared is 20.25 times 11. Now I can multiply straight across. When I do that, I get volume equals 699.8 centimeters cubed. Oh my goodness, you guys are just so amazing. So, so, so amazing. I can't find my shapes. I was going to give you guys a little treat. There we go. Here it is. Woo, 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 woo. Oh, look, my color of my pen kind of matches my little guy. Hi. Alrighty. Love y'all. See y'all.